Good morning everyone and welcome to Grand Final Day for the NTFA Premier Division, and good luck to South Launceston and Bridgenorth in the under-18s here this morning. Thanks very much everyone for coming out early, and hopefully you're all undercover and you'll have a fantastic day. I'd like to now please introduce and ask you to make welcome as well, and you'll see this throughout today. We're going to invite a club legend from each of the Grand Final teams to come out with the Premiership Cup. And I'd like to welcome this morning from South Launceston, Drew Alexander, and from Bridgenorth, Brad Pinkard. Please make them welcome. Coming out with the Premiership Cup, and then for today's winner, the legend will be presenting the cup to the winning captain. I'd now like to invite Damien Ryan from the NTFA board to come forward. He'll be performing the coin toss, and I'd like to invite the two captains, Caleb Chappell and also Tom Symes, to come forward for the coin toss, please. And South Launceston have won the toss. They'll kick to the city end in the first quarter. I'd now like everyone please to be upstanding. Firstly, we'll have the Welcome to Country featuring prominent Aboriginal advocate and NTFA member Graham Gardner, and with thanks to the Hawthorn Football Club, and this will be followed by the National Anthem.
Ligina Lutrawita. For thousands of years, Aborigines have remained connected to country. Our old people harvested the land, our warriors hunted a landscape shaped by traditional fire, and our women gathered resources to provide for their family group. Back then, we walked the many tracks across the Northern Midlands that led us to the head of the Cunnamalooka Tamar River. Today, those tracks are lined by buildings, and the landscape, once adorned by trees and grassy plains, are fewer. Warranta Lumi. We are here. Our culture is alive.
Thanks very much everyone. Good luck to South Launceston and Bridgenorth.
We'll get set. And good morning everybody. You here on Duff TV. Well, Jerry, we on? And it's the under-18 Grand Final here. And we've joined in the commentary position with Aaron Peach Roberts and Bobby Beams from the Bridgenorth Footy Club. G'day, Bobby.
How are you, Aaron? It's great to be here. It's a bit of a damp old morning, but it's great that these young fellas can play on a brilliant surface in an AFL venue.
Yeah, no, I think this has been fantastic. Many years in the making by Scott Rigby, and there's the teams for South. We'll mention a couple. Ollie Woodcock-Davis has come back in the side. They've got 2 or 3 of their 16s that won the premiership 2 weeks ago. So they're probably a little bit stronger than the second semi, Bobby, when Bridgenorth went very close to defeating South.
Yeah, well, South got out of the blocks really early that day, but Bridgenorth's last quarter and a half were fantastic. They come home with a wet sail and unfortunately went down by 3 points, but they bounced back with a good win against Georgetown last week.
Yeah, that was a good recovery. Sometimes you can lose a bit of faith after getting beaten in a second set. When you put all the effort in, you don't quite get there, and then you kind of lose your mojo. But it was a good win against Georgetown last week. Who are we expecting to lift here for Bridgenorth? Who needs to play well for them to win?
Yeah, they've been a very even side all year, but their big fellas, Tommy Sims, who'll start in the ruck, and Dylan Farquhar. Dylan was fantastic out at Longford in that second semi. Daniel Jordan, joint best and fairest winner this year. Ryan Gearloff, half back. He's a great interceptor, played some senior footy this year, but they're very even side, as the south side is.
Yeah, looking forward to this one. I hope you enjoy. We've got 4 grand finals here at the home of football here in Launceston, York Park, the northern capital. It's a little drizzly. It shouldn't hamper the football, as that is a magnificent noise on grand final day as the rucks clash in the middle of the ground. First use to Eldershaw. It's a little scoop out, and it's quickly on to Sims, who releases it out to half forward. Didn't really get a favouring bounce for his teammate. In and under was Mannix G's. Bridgenorth soccer it forward. 1-on-1 in the goal square, and it's going to be held up. That was a promising. I reckon clearances are the key against South. Get a few clearances, get on top. That was a good clearance.
Yeah, absolutely was. And just the way Josh Corkery just hacked it forward there, I think just knocking that ball on in these conditions.
Well,
really
he's going to be called holding the football 15 metres out. I reckon the umpire was calling that as he was dropping onto his boot. Farquhar's got it. He's a good kick.
Yeah, no, I think he should nail this one.
So an opportunity for Bridgenorth early to give them some confidence and some belief. It's a good decision for the umpire because it actually hit the ground. Fabulous umpiring there. So Farquhar set shot from 25 metres out, directly in front of the goals. The umpire stands up. That indicates Bridgenorth have got one.
Great start there by the Parrots, but I am watching in the centre of the ground Captain Tom Sims, who got the clearance. He's just in the hands of the trainer. He looks like he's coming to the bench, so Dill Farquhar might have to come into the ruck unless Zeke Atkins does.
Yeah,
but,
he's moving okay, but
yeah, I think it might be winded. He did look visibly.
Did he get bumped after he kicked it?
I think he did. He's maybe very badly winded, but Zeke Atkins is going in the ruck there now.
Atkins is okay. That's not a bad.
Oh no, he's a good mover and probably his best position on the ball.
But as you say, a little loss. Sims is just holding his lower abdomen, which might indicate he's just lost a little bit of oxygen out of his lungs. We're just waiting to get that replacement player coming on.
McIndoe coming onto the ground.
So McIndoe with the long sleeves. He did start with a very high number of 74, but he's dropped it down to 34. As we go back at it again. Nearly a high tackle laid by Cowley. The push and shove in the middle. Tell you what, players are looking to handball off the ground. On the edge is Barr. Barr gets bumped as he tries to pick up the footy. David Summers, who's an exciting player around goal, rushed handball out. Bridgenorth have got some numbers around this ball. Blackwell. Summers again. He's in a tight spot. He's got it high up towards Cowley. He's waiting a long time to get underneath that one. Late coming in was Eldershaw. And now once again, there's the stand of the play, Bob. You're booting it off the ground. It's not a bad option, I suppose, to get some momentum.
Yeah, especially the wet conditions.
That's a high ball. 3 Bridgenorth players underneath this. That's not an easy mark. It's been dropped, nearly picked up off the ground. Now it's a loose footy. It's placed a little lost. That might be a free kick. And the advantage here to Bridgenorth, if they track away, that kick's not necessarily favour their teammate and the defensive mark, but there's another slip up. So both teams just trying to find their rhythm. Dangerous kick. There's 2 South players. Over the top was Alexander. Support now from McIndoe. That's a good pickup. Bridgenorth with some run here. Wide handball out now to Corkery. Real pressure in this early stages of a grand final. And it's tight near the boundary line. Now it's been just kept in as South just controlling it off half back. That's a Dangerous kick again. Both teams are really taking on, aren't they, Bobby? They're trying to get that ball back to the middle.
Yeah, they sure are, and it's I think that as it is in all grand finals, the team with the composure can settle earliest, can get on top. But it's she's anyone's year at the moment.
Hey, Bobby, no offence to your wonderful footy ground, but this surface is a little different, isn't it?
Oh, how good's this, isn't it? That as you said, the work the NTFA have put in to get back onto this ground has been tremendous.
Down there is Clay. He's got an opportunity to go backwards. Clay decides to put it on his boot. Probably the handball was a better option. That's the composed football that we want to see from South Launceston, and that's what we expect from this well-drilled team. Wicks, he then goes backwards. Pressure from two Bridgenorth defenders. High ball, fist by Chappie. Oh, that's a high tackle given away, unfortunate by Jones. Chappell, not Chappie, sorry, I beg your pardon. There's that replay, very high hold there. So 65. Straight up high into the pocket. Ball is loose. Bridgenorth pretty well structured just behind the play, but the Dogs are swarming on this one, and they'll be happy with the boundary throw in.
Yeah, it was good work by Ryan Gill. I mentioned him in the pre-match. He zoned off there to be the third man up and spoil it over the boundary.
It's strategy at the moment, isn't it, in defence here? Is it a bit too defensive from Bridgenorth, Bobby?
Well, yeah, I guess it's stopping them get easy ball first up is the key. And then, yeah, they've still got to win enough of the ball, though.
Wilcock Davis was shoved off, and he's going to be an important player. It's gone wide out towards the wing to Clay. Gets around one. It gets a little bit of support from Eldershaw. Then the ball just goes wide over the back to Clay. Awkward looking left boot, reasonably effective. It ends up finding a teammate. Good tackle. Now it's loose. Williams into the pocket and a little off the mark. He loves to run, Williams, but he misses that one. Well, they're really well set up, Bridgenorth, at the defence.
Yeah, they are, but the South are winning a lot of the footy. They're setting up a wall there, and if they can get the territory game, get it forward a lot, it'll be hard for them to continue to defend, the Parrots boys. High
leap from Templar. Does like taking a mark, and probably the conditions not helping him. Williams unable to take it. Templar again. Nearly a high tackle, or nearly holding the football. Probably a fair decision by the umpire on a rush ball. And once again, a missed opportunity. You're right, Bobby. So for those that can't see it, if Duff pans out, 90% of the players are past the halfway, or past in the bottom third, you'd say. I think a switch is needed here, or a bit of run maybe from
just a bit of movement, and they are doing that now.
Yeah, good spot up, finds Simmons. Yeah, he's got to run here, Simmons. That's a dangerous kick, but if it paid off, it's well done. Off the bench was Chapman. Rush ball in. It's gone to the left. Right option, Bobby, but the second kick wasn't. Yeah, he had a short fella on the boundary as well. But yeah, you've got to pull the trigger on those kicks, and he tried and didn't come off. But kind of always think you've got to go first option sometimes in a grand final. You just got to be confident. It's not a bad option. There's a bunch of players that are going to swarm around the pack. Wick's got his hand on it as a rush ball. Bridgenorth get this out. They've got an extra player running forward, but it was controlled really nicely then by Clay, who's had a little bit of the ball early. Swinging handball by Cowley. Rush ball into the forward pocket, and a mark taken. I think it's King, and he's going to be it's Tom Graham. Tommy Graham's got it. I reckon he's in just within distance. It's a difficult spot, Bobby, to kick a goal from. Yeah, it sure is. But I mean, they've had plenty of forward entries in the last few minutes, South, and the more they do that, the more opportunity they're going to get. Well, just on that replay there, Bobby, two Bridgenorth players obviously were free, and unfortunately, so was Graham. He's put it out to the left. Ball's still going to be in play. Defensive punch comes over the top, and it rolls out of bounds in front of Bailey Lowe. Yeah, I think the Parrots have just got to be a bit cleaner with their ball use exiting the back half. They've, it's currently being played in South's forward half, or the forward 50. So something will crack here. They'll either kick a goal, or Bridgenorth will get it over the back. Yeah, over the back is probably the way that Bridgenorth are going to try and get a score. As ball's just rolling around inside the pocket. Hands have done him. Seen him play a little bit this year. He's got a bit of pace. Cowley's rush shot on goal. That's gone through. Well, I thought that was going to the left, and I reckon the Bridgenorth players did as well. And they haven't touched it. Went through for a goal.
Yeah, great goal by Will Cowley. He was sensational in the second semi at Longford. Best on ground. And, yeah, not sure the Bridgenorth boys probably had their time again. They might have got a hand on that one.
Well, let's see this one on the replay. He's a good finish, isn't it? Under some pressure, Cowley. I mean, I don't reckon he had a shot on goal. Oh, yeah. Needed a little bit more effort from Blackwell to try and get a hand. You just need to be desperate, don't you?
Yeah, it's probably easy from up here, but yeah, it probably looked as though they might have been able to dive and get a hand on it.
To be fair, when the ball's tracking over your head like that, it's actually not that easy to judge, so we don't want to be too harsh. That he might not have been able to judge. He might have thought it was going comfortably through. Alexander knocked off the football. It's a little bit of sand just in the middle of the ground. I think it's sand. I doubt there's any water on the ground. Williams now on the outside. He's going to get tracked down. He does. It's an opportunity. That might be a free kick here as the ball was released and Williams just on centre wing. Not a lot of movement from... He's going to go wide. He's not going to go wide. He's going to go along the ground. Now it's been picked up by Betts. Now he's got tackled and disappointing. Betts had an opportunity just to release that.
Yeah, he sure did. It was a great tackle there, but it wasn't great awareness. And he is one of Bridgenorth's better players, Jaden Betts.
Now there's another call here. If it is over the shoulder, it's a very good decision from the umpire because he's around 40 metres from that. It's going to be a free here to Elmer. Elmer's probably just out of range. He'll look up for a short option. He does have Cowley about to make a lead. There is the lead. He ignores it. There's another lead. That's good football. That's just good footy. And
yeah,
Bailey Lowe, who can kick sausage rolls, has got it in the pocket.
It was a great lead there, but I'm looking here and I can see three Parrots big men on the 50. One of them needed to be in that hole to stop that lead.
Yeah, they've got to track back a bit.
They've just got to stop them getting that lead.
Lowe, they're right behind this one. Let's see what he does. It's fading. It's fading. Interesting run up then from Lowe. He actually went right. He curved right with his run up very late, and that's where the ball went.
Yeah, nice kick. He's one of the under-16 boys. He spent some time in the state program. Very good player.
He's a better kick than that. I mean, in the end, it was actually really good contact, the kick, but no, this is better. Clear that ball. There's still a bunch of players forming around this footy. Can the Parrots find it out? It's first onto it was Crawford, and then a swinging ball back to the middle. And that's a neat mark by Alexander. Woodcock Davis.
Yeah, he reads the ball so well off half-back.
Waiting to see him in the long sleeves. It's loose here on half-forward. As the Dogs are starting to go again, and it's out to the left.
Yeah, they're just controlling the territory here, south.
It's hard for a coach to change this, isn't it, Bobby? Because the runner can't give instructions to all the players. It's very hard. There must be a plan in place.
Yeah, and it's... Yeah, well, the first one is they've just got to clear these contests here and get some good ball movement. And, yeah, a bit of composure with it will be the key.
High ball. Doesn't really favour anyone. Nearly by Gill. Still on the ground. See, they're set up really well behind the stoppages here.
Yeah, they have been south, and the intent from both sides has been terrific. But south are just winning these critical contested footy.
A little bit stagnant at the forward line then. They've still got an option. And it's Cowley. He's taken another mark inside the forward 50.
Summers, is it? Summers.
I beg your pudding, it is Summers.
Yes. Another one of the under-16 boys, which handy inclusions is along with Ollie Woodcock Davis, who didn't play in the second semi.
Now Summers is a very good set shot. That's a pretty decent contested mark. He loves a goal too. And that's very neat. Summers gets the Dogs second, and they've got the territory at the moment.
Yeah, good mark. Any mark like that inside forward 50, especially in wet conditions. The rain seems to be even a little bit heavier at the moment. Take that, go back and kick a goal. That's gold, isn't it, on a wet day?
Yeah, it is, and I think taking just goes to show how good the ground is, though. That was they've had three contested marks inside their forward 50. That one was juggled. Two-toucher from David Summers.
Yeah, good finish as well. And yeah, it's as you said at the start of the call, the clearances, centre clearances are vital here. So Parrots need to get their hands on this one.
Well, they were set up better then, and they did check that man behind the plate.
That's a great mark by Jack Mannix-Jeeves there.
Speaking of taking contested marks, Mannix-Jeeves. Now, can the Parrots find a short option? It's a wobbly kick. It might be okay. It's going to go towards the pocket. Onto it first, McCormack. Tapping along was Arnott. Still loose ball. And then that off the ground options. Okay. Rush ball out. Long time waiting underneath it is Farquhar. And he takes it on his chest. He's looking for something. Stagnant. There's a player at the back. A lot of dogs there. And that's a too easy, Bobby.
Yeah, good defensive mark there by young Ollie Dean, who's another under-16
Played
player.
well the other week.
Yep. Yeah, very good player, been in the state system.
It makes it tough, doesn't it? And it's no disrespect, the big junior club, that South are the biggest junior club in Northern Tasmania now, numbers-wise.
Oh, and their success in the under-16 program has been, I think they've won the last 3 flags.
Yeah, last 3. And they won the Div 2 grand final as well.
Yeah.
So they are, just the metrics are bigger than what you've got out at Parrotland. Now they charge forward again. It's going to be too easy at the back. Well, they actually spoiled each other. The ball feels free. That's a great tackle. And a kick off the ground goal. Well, they respond with a low, sneaky one. He had a set shot a few minutes ago, and then he's managed to dribble that one off the ground.
Yeah, it was great ball movement by South out of the back half. Started with Ollie Dean back there, and then Nelson Clay's run through the middle. Really good tackle by Joe Chapman there, but just got slipped out the back. And as we watch the replay there,
well, if that ball's spoiled, then it's turnover and Bridgenorth have a shot. So it's a great mark. Spoiled each other, not great communication.
Yeah, good tackle.
That is a fabulous tackle. Right spot, right time.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, Bobby, where you ball watch sometimes, and that's okay. I get it. You want to know where the ball is, but
yeah, just unfortunately slipped out the back, that one.
So Bridgenorth trying to win one out of the middle. Woodcock Davis in there. Hasn't had a heap of touches. And here's some run. Shot on goal. It's a flying shot, and they've got a couple.
Yeah, they're really opening it up now, South. And one thing with this big ground at UTAS here, if you're willing to work hard and run hard, the rewards will come, and it is for South. And they're
let's see this replay from Jakey.
Up and about at the moment.
Jakey Elmer off the back here. So he's kicked it off the ground there. And then he's picked up very neat handball. So he's got that from the middle. That's a beaut finish too.
Yeah, being clean with the footy in the wet conditions is paramount today, and they have been. They've been cleaner and winning more of it. So that's a great goal there by Jake Elmer. Good
noise here at York Park. There's some of the fans that have come in earlier. I saw plenty of Parrot uniforms and paraphernalia have come from down the river. Farquhar out wide, looks for McCormack, eventually gets to him. He takes a juggling mark. He's got a short option on. It'll be okay because it's gone along the ground. There's a handball over the top. He decides to go long into the pocket. It's been spilt out of their hands. And oh, it hit the post? No, it's still in play. Opportunity though. Oh, gee, that was close.
Yeah, good pressure on the goal line there by Curtis McCormack. Didn't quite get his boot there.
I thought it just needed a stick, didn't it, that ball? That's great defensive work. Coming over the top was Mannix Jeeves.
Yeah, good little player, Jack Mannix Jeeves.
Obviously, he's a pretty nuggety as well, isn't he?
Yeah, from a cricketing family. His elder brother Sam played some senior footy for us this year.
Ruck contest. McIndoe in there. And unfortunately, first to it is Elmo who kicked that goal. And the Dogs get it out of bounds. Early stages, it's 4-2, 26-1. 1-7-8, Aaron Robertson, Bobby Beams here on Duff TV, NTFA 18's grand final. Hope you're tuning in and enjoying it, but maybe get down to the ground, I recommend. It's going to be a bottler of a day. Farquhar couldn't get it, misses him again. It might be holding the footy, the umpire says no. Fair call, little chip kick out, and it's favoured the Parrots. Now, where do they go? There's a player in the middle. There's a couple of players. Do they take the risk? That's an okay kick. Just need to get in front a little bit. Rush, ball comes out by Atkins. And a mark taken by Woodcock Davis.
Yeah, once again, just reading the ball. Bit of a clanger of a kick, but he did read it and took a good mark.
Simmons beats it forward. That might be a push. Should be a free kick, it is.
Yeah, Ben Kidd there. Almost took the mark, but just got the push in the back. So he should kick it, but always tough on a wet day. He missed the second semi with a with a hamstring injury, so come back last week, and be good for him to get an early one for him today.
Let's see what he can do just to stem the tide here. It's fading right. It's fading a long way right and a behind. Can they now keep it in? At the moment, Bridgenorth just need to throw a few up, I reckon. A few of those halfbacks just to squish in and keep this ball inside the forward 50 or 60 metres. So the Dogs are going to launch it out really wide. Wicks is in best position. Gets out of his hands and out of bounds.
Yeah, it's with only a minute to go in the quarter, they need to get a bit of territory here. South, they could potentially win this, and they're running the way they've been today. Could score in the last minute.
Yeah, they've got a few players up. We saw Brisbane score twice in the last 16 seconds last night. It's the red time stuff. You're not concentrating. Elmer, quick ball. This is an opportunity though. If Jones could get his hands on it, but he couldn't. A little bit too easy as that ball's been cleared to the middle. Long time underneath it is Wicks. He's been fabulous today. Abdu gets onto it, he misses it. And spinning out of trouble and winning the footy is Dunham. Love his long hair, the boy from St Pat's. Dribbling kick in. They've got to kill this one, Bridgenorth. There's only a few seconds left. Swinging handball out towards Wicks. Tight on the boundary. Great defence. And I reckon that's been taken over by the smart play.
Yeah, another good tackle there by Joe Chapman.
And there is the hoot. And it's quarter time here. As we'll see the last play, the last desperate play on Wicks, who's been really influential. And it's 4-2-26 to 1-2-8. A couple of comments from you, Bob, before we have a quick break.
Yeah, really good start by South Launceston there. 4 goals in the first quarter on a wet day, a 3-goal lead. That's a pretty important little buffer they've got. They've just been clean with the footy. Hard at the contest, even though Bridgenorth have won a couple of centre clearances. South would have won more contested footy. They've been clean going forward, and they've looked dangerous every time they've been there.
Yeah, plenty of territory inside their forward 50. A few times Bridgenorth went forward when it was open. They looked good. They missed an opportunity late for a set shot. So it's a comfortable lead of 3 goals here, but it's only early stages. It can be a high-scoring ground here at York Park. We'll have a break just before we go. Elmer, Summers, Cowley and Lowe with goal kickers for South, and Farquhar the only goal kicker here. We'll have a break here in Duff TV. We'll be back in a few moments. Yeah, and welcome back. Second quarter action here at South Launceston with the early lead. Aaron Roberts, Bobby Beams in the commentary box, high up in the Western stand. Bobby, what do you think Bridgenorth need to do just to stem? Maybe first of all, how do they stem the goals from South, and maybe then tell me how they're going to score?
Yeah, well,
solve all their problems for me, Bobby.
Their backs were pretty good for most of it in that first quarter, but they just, as we said in the call, they were under the pump a lot, and something's got to give when that happens. They got to get their hands on the footy out of the centre stoppage here, and just get some ball and get some composure with it. We've had a call from down the bench that Captain Tom Sims is out of the game, so that's going to be a loss for them. But Dylan Farquhar in the ruck for the first contest.
Yeah, real loss there for Sims. Let's hope he's okay. So he went off about, well, pretty much the first contest, wasn't it? I'm just looking at it. Is that actually water in the middle of the ground? It is, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I thought that was sand originally. It's been a long time since I've seen water literally sitting on the surface here.
You wouldn't have thought we'd had that much rain.
No.
But
yeah, maybe it's just that bit the night before, and that is a tap over the top by Farquhar, we just mentioned. So Bridgenorth with the first clearance. And it's going to dribble out towards the boundary line, keeping it just in play. It's good from Clay, who's had a lot of the football early. They've tried the set-up shot. Tackle laid by Cowley, who's also been prominent. That's a terrific handball to another important player in Elmer. Brilliant tackle from Jones. They have been good defensively, Bridgenorth. You're right, Bobby. They've probably laid 5 or 6 really important tackles.
Yeah, they have, and it's probably that next kick forward is probably where they've let them down. But credit to South, they've read it very well, and they are up and about here.
Yeah, Elmer was good again, getting busy. Alexander then spots up a teammate, going back in the pack and putting himself as Gill in the position where he could get clobbered. He did enough to probably put the teammate or the players off. Barr misses a football. Rush ball by Alexander. It's gone through both players. Summers has an opportunity. First down is Gill. He probably wants to find the boundary line, but he's going to scoop it up Bailey Loeb. Then he misses it, and Bridgenorth get it out for now. Arnott first, and now it's the boundary line. So that was good from Bridgenorth.
Yeah, good result there. It's just rolling over, but South have just setting up behind the ball very, very well. They've got that wall, and it's very hard for the Parrots to penetrate it coming back out of defence.
Centre wing, ball up. Zelda Shaw, first use. Farquhar can't pick it up. It is a little slippery at the moment as it's nearly finished raining. We've actually got a bit of mist here in the swamp, which could hang around for another hour or so. We're hoping that's going to be pretty clear. It's quite warm. It's quite a warm night, so sometimes that does mean, depending on what the tide's doing, that it could be a bit misty, and that's going to be a free kick given away for a push.
Yeah, free kick to Will Cowley there. Just held on a bit long. Young Simmons.
Cowley looking to go up the line. In just the last minute goes short. It's a good kick. Now can Bridgenorth just drop another one into the hole here. Here's the lead. The sides, the pocket's the best option. It's a long searching lead. The bump out by Chappell. Bridgenorth numbers around the ball. It's bashed inside. It's nearly a throw by Godsway Williams. And then now Bridgenorth release it up to half forward. Underneath it for a while was Atkins.
Yeah, Woodcock Davis just another defensive mark. He started tremendously well.
I think he played about 8 senior games. I'm not 100% sure.
He did. He played 8, and then both finals that South Seniors played in.
So he's a player that I've been watching and commentating for 3 years. That's probably a throw. Nice try by Blackwell. He scooped it. And South had just got a bit of momentum. They haven't got a score yet as Wiggins, the left footer. So half forward. Ball's been spilled out. Now it's rushed forward again as maybe the rain just having its last little go here in the swamp at Launceston. So can they pick their way through? Maybe a change needed here. Farquhar waiting underneath it. It spills out the back. Blackwell's there, but he's a bit slow onto the footy. Well set up in the back half here. That's going to be holding.
Yeah, great tackle by Harry Templer there. His second and third efforts have been fantastic. It looks like with Sims out of the game, Jaden Blackwell's been pushed forward. He's played a fair bit forward over his junior career.
Templer bombs it to the square. They need a crummer. The only players on their feet down on the ground are South Launceston players, and they've rushed it through for a minor. So a little win there for Bridgenorth. They now need to just to clog it up as much as they can. And they've done a pretty good job. They've got all the holes covered. I reckon they'll give them that short one.
Yeah, this will be the next kick now. If they can get through this south, I reckon they could be out with some one-on-one contest forward.
Well, that's good. No, that's really good. They partly zoned off just then, and they took the player the most likely next kick and just gave him a little bit of room, and it's out of bounds on the full. So can they get a crumb? Can they find maybe a mark? Pop out at the back. It's high. Nearly a grab taken. Ball's loose. It's a bit of a slippery Sharon at the moment. Back it goes. High ball in, but South has set up a little bit too well.
Yeah, set up very well there. Drop that player back, and now they've got numbers out wide here.
Singline, he's got that little short option. Hasn't worked though. Bridgenorth, if they can win this, they've got a couple of extra numbers around the footage right down in front of us. It's well worked out by Bridgenorth. Scrappy footy, it's become pretty tough and contested. There's Harris. Has he won a free kick?
Yeah, just to Elmer there, just
Elmer's
been held on a bit longer after the tackle.
I've actually got the monitor right in front of me, which prevented me from actually seeing where the ball was. High ball in, nearly won by Graham. Loose ball hits the ground, and a couple of quick handballs here, and they can set themselves up. The umpire said, holding the footy.
Yeah, great tackle there by the South player.
So South haven't been forward for a little while. Bridgenorth have been really well set up in defence. That's a fab mark.
Yeah, great defensive mark by Ryan Byard there.
So I haven't seen a lot of By, but he's usually pretty reliable. They've gone laterally here to the big expanses of York Park. Ball goes high. Wiggins at the back and into the interchange.
Yeah, they come down the line there. Bridgenorth, it's going to be tough to take a big pack mark. There has been some contested marks today, but in these conditions, they might need to look at opening up the ground and getting a few shorter options.
Well, they're manning up at the moment, but got a bit of space with Cowleys. He has so often today. It's a really attacking kick up towards centre half forward. The punch over the back. Low first to the footy. Rush ball by Low. Had more time. Could have considered himself just to slow it down a little bit. Big clash in the middle. Williams first to the football. Betts tapping it in front of him. Stays on his knees while the South players stay on their feet. Really important. Rush ball in, but Bridgenorth are set up well. Although that's been spilt. Dunniam loves to run. Gets onto it first. Pressure applied by Gill. Into the pocket it comes. Bridgenorth with numbers around the football. Need to be composed. They've got players on the outside. It picks up now to Byard. He juggles it, has enough time. He's going to have to go long up the line here. It's a good-looking kick. Long time underneath it was Simmons. So it's actually neutral at the moment, I'd say, Bobby, this game.
Yeah, no, it sure is. And just some skill errors there with the wet footy, but really good passage of play there by Dunniam to push it forward. But Bridgenorth just had numbers back.
Farquhar quickly out of the ruck. The ball loose on half forward here. A little bit of ball here, Wiggins. His kick's not great, though. If it bounces, Bridgenorth with numbers. Sweet handball runs out into the middle. That's clever from Mannix Jeeves. He's got a player up the field, can't find him. Mannix Jeeves again, just gets the hands onto it. Graham in there on his backside, and we'll have a ball up.
Yeah, no, really good contest at the moment. Both sides are up for it, and it's just the side that can get that quick one forward to a one-on-one or one out the back will be the ones that score.
Farquhar gets a second go at the footy. I reckon he gets at about 35 metres. They can just get a handball at the back. Just getting bashed through the pack was Clay. Disappointing as that ball came into the Parrot forward line. And the South player was well in front of the forward.
Yeah, it does look like Kidd might be struggling a bit with his,
he looks a bit sore, doesn't he?
His hamstring, and with Sims out of the game, he may have to be there. But yeah, big ground, it's going to be tough.
Matt, Farquhar's been great. It's a high tackle. The umpire's going to call play on. He had no advantage then, and he's going to get it to go back.
A good clean pick up by Woodcock Davies there. He's
starting to get going, isn't he?
He's very, very good, isn't he?
Yeah, Ollie's starting to work hard in the engine room at the moment here for South. to go and get his own footy. So just a bit of a stalemate. We haven't gone too far. The only score so far is a minor for the Parrots. Slip out by Dean. Probably nearly a sling tackle, just on the edge, waiting for it, was crisp. High ball, but once again, much better set up here by Bridgenorth. They're winning the defensive work.
Yeah, good defensive mark there by Joe Chapman.
Williams. Looked like Betts. Actually, no, it wasn't Betts. Betts is now about to pick it up.
It was Corkery with a tackle.
That was fantastic. He's laid a couple now. So free kick here to Bridgenorth. Mannix Jeeves, who's been really busy. He's had to come into the middle of the ground and supply a bit of contested stuff. High ball, punched out of bounds just in front of Clay, who's gone a little quiet.
Yeah, very even quarter this one, as we've mentioned before. But they're, if they can get one out of the stoppage here, get a quick one. They've got a bit of space inside forward 50 at the minute, Bridgenorth.
Really interesting then at the 16 boys grand final, and also last week in the Div 1. Players get tired in the red time on this larger ground.
Yeah, it is very big ground, isn't it?
And it's probably not much longer than, say, Youngtown, but considerably wider wings, and the ball tends to get out there a lot. And it has spent a bit of time on those wings today. It's going to be thrown up. So it looks like Dean's back in the ruck. It's going to be a good contest. Farquhar winning most of the ruck contests at the moment. Dean is a very good rucker. He nearly got it into his mitts as he looked around. There's a dangerous Elmer at the back of the pack. High ball up towards half forward. Really won by anyone. Late come in was Chapman. South with numbers there. It's a high ball inside the pocket. It's Bridgenorth is set up. It's going to have to be clever here. That's not a deliberate kick. I reckon it just jumped onto the boot and spilled it over and out of bounds in front of Bashir.
Yeah, just from that clearance and that ball movement forward, South are really good. They won the clearance. Elmer good again. Clean possession of the football.
Bashir took it out of the ruck. Dangerous handball, but they do have numbers here. And G's with a driving ball. Farquhar at the back, but falling into Lyons' hands. Rushed in. Nearly taken there by Harris. And a slinging shot on goal. And finally they broke the stalemate.
Great goal there by Josh Harris. He's a running machine.
Played a few seniors this year.
Yeah, he did, and he's an exceptional athlete. He's a great runner, and if he can get up and going, a ground like this is just ideally suited for him.
Let's just see the replay. He set up well here. He's nearly punched away by Templar, and then Harris just got a little bit of space. That's a fab finish.
Great finish.
So some changes happening at the moment for South. They're just moving a few around as we see the replay of young Joshy Harris, who I think won the NTJFA 16 boys. He might have either been runner-up or won it a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I think he might have, and he hasn't played a lot of footy.
No.
Only a late starter.
Yeah, both the boys were surprised they're late starters to footy, considering they're old man.
Yeah, old man actually played at Bridgenorth, played coached the reserves premiership 2010. He did.
There you go.
A West Tamer boy.
Well, Harry coached the 16 South boys through a premiership 2 weeks ago on this ground, which was the best game of youth boys football I've ever seen, and I've seen a stack of them.
Yeah.
That's a push in the back.
Yeah, thrilling game, 1 point.
I actually felt it should have been a draw. That's how close and even it was. It was fascinating watching Harry on the bench. If he's listening, you were going spack, mate. You were really nervous.
I was talking to him this morning. He said, if that had gone for another few minutes, he might have had a heart attack.
Aid McHenry was the North coach, and he was super calm. I love Aid McHenry's work when he's coaching, really calm.
Yeah, they were very good side, North too.
Yeah, they were unlucky to kind of become a loser. I don't know how that happened. Both teams deserved the win. That's a high ball out. So there's some good youth kids coming out of the North at the moment, 16 boys in particular. That group of players are really exciting. Thrown over the top by Cowley. He's had plenty. Harris will get it again. Handball rebound, a rush ball. A little bit too rushed. And it's
Chapman, I think, taking another defensive mark.
Yeah, Joey Chapman. So he's got a slightly awkward kicking style, but he's really good at reading the footy. Williams up high. Summers in there. Nearly gives away a free kick. Rolling off the footy was Blackwell.
Yeah, the tackling of South has been very good. They've won some plenty of free kicks through their good tackling in this quarter.
Ball loose on half forward. There's another good tackle on Dunniam. He's hard to pin down too.
Good tackle by Ryan Barr there.
Dunniam, the star for St Pat's second boys team in the Sardis Grand Final. He got a stack of the footy. Bit of a rush ball. Made a lot of work there for Templar. And I reckon there's a couple of South players that are on their faces. One of them's going to get a free.
Yeah, it come out to about a 4-on-2 out in that contest. So weight of numbers was the South were probably bound to win it, which they have done. And young Cowley, who's getting plenty of the footy.
Isn't he ever? And he's got off the mark there, and he's got an extra 10 or 15 metres. High ball in there. Harris is underneath it, off the ground. Just missing to the left was Wiggins. So Harris just drifted forward. He's not a bad option up forward. Still think his hand, Woodcock Davis in the middle is as good as any in Colts footy that I've seen. I've done the last 4 or 5 SFL Colts Grand Finals. That's under 19s in the SFL, and this is superior standard to, by quite a bit, to the SFL Colts, dominated by the Cygnet Southern Storm team. That's high tackle.
Good mark there from young Dean coming out of defence, but it just turned over back to Bridgenorth coming back out.
McCormick, loose player in the middle. It's a good option. It's hard to mark those above your head. Sometimes you've got to train yourself to do the 2 taps, don't you? Summers. Dunniam off the ground. Clever by Dunniam. Bashir, can he get it? He's going to have some pressure applied by Chapman. Great Chapman. Geez, he's been fantastic in defence today.
Yeah, good, solid, honest contributor, and he's...
We like honest contributors, solid, honest. I'm looking at you, Bobby. You were a solid. You played how many games? 300 plus, didn't you?
Not many good ones, Aaron. But,
no, I think you played a few good ones.
There was plenty of years playing. Yeah.
You're trying to find your best. As the ball's loose inside, there's a kick off the ground. Nearly one through by South. That's good, high, very high ball. Let's hope that doesn't bring more rain. What a mark by Summers. Oh, it's not play. Thrown out by Simmons. Knocked off the football, Beams was, and out of bounds.
Yeah, I just think similar to the first quarter, South are just winning more of the contests, and which is obviously giving us more territory. And hopefully, for Bridgenorth's point of view, they can hold on and not be scored heavily on here, or otherwise South might be able to bang a few on in the last few minutes of the quarter.
Betts misses it. Mannix G's on his knees. Then there's a ball off the ground. Cowley misses it, and another ball off the ground. There's plenty of numbers here. As Woodcock Davis, classy, steady. His kicking hasn't been great today. I don't think he likes the slippery Sherrin. Ball still loose. Simmons, Betts, weaves, handballs to himself. Another ball being booted off the turf here at York Park. As Betts taken high. Surely. No, said the umpire. Small chance here. If this ball can get through, just get it going forward. And you've got to stay on your feet sometimes. Clever by Arnott. And there's a runner in crisp. Now it's dangerous territory. A lot of work has to be done here by Beams. Dunniam, too slow, Dunniam, but is he called holding the ball? No, I reckon it's a free kick for holding the player.
Yeah, it's just a bit of a... just didn't quite have the ball as he was being tackled there. I watched the replay, young Sammy Beasley. But yeah, just the way South was set up behind the ball when Bridgenorth got it to the centre, there was no way forward for the Parrots. It was really, their positioning's fantastic.
So Dunniam, probably a better running shot on goal than a set shot. No problem there. They got their second.
Yeah, good finish there. Great finish. And as I just said a couple of minutes ago, we haven't got long to go in this quarter. But the way South had won plenty of footy, they were just threatening to score, and they obviously have. So with about a minute to go, it'll be an interesting last certainly a last centre clearance. That
was disappointing for Bridgenorth point of view, but a great goal from Dunniam. South probably deserved that one, Bobby, to be fair.
Oh, they've had so much of the footy in the last 7 or 8 minutes, and that's what happens in footy. Just weight of numbers and hands on your footy, on the footy there, you'll give yourselves more opportunity to score.
6-3 to 1-3, just behind for Bridgenorth in this quarter. And all single goal kickers at the moment for the Dogs. Ruck contest, Dean. Betts. High ball up to half forward. Got his hands to it first was Beams. Now it's loose inside the pocket. Dunham tight, nowhere to go. So let's see if Bridgenorth can just hold this for the last few seconds. Looks like it might be Alexander in the ruck. Bashir in there as well. Coming across late is Farquhar. The punch by Gill. And a free kick given away. And unfortunately, it's gone the way of the Dogs. And they're going to have a shot after siren. I probably would say Alexander is right on his range here. Probably maybe a fraction too far out.
Yeah, it'd be a tough kick with the wet ball, but yeah, young Ollie Alexander, he was really good in the second semi out at Longford. He's son of Drew Alexander, who actually presented the cup today or walked it out. Here he comes.
Saves from 47. It's going to fall short in the square, and there she writes for now. 6-3, 39 to 1, 3-9. So a couple of goals to South in that quarter, all single goal kickers. Elmer, Summers, Cowley, Dunham, Lowe and Harris all with a goal, and Farquhar the only goal kicker for the Parrots. And Bobby Beans, a few thoughts from you?
Yeah, I think in that first part of that second quarter, it was, as you said, Aaron, it was a real stalemate, and both teams were cracking in hard. No one could get clear advantage, but then South just started to win more of the footy, cleaner football around the contest. They're set up fantastically across the centre and across half back, and they just won more of the footy, had more forward entries, and resulted in 2 goals. Reward for hard work.
No doubt they deserved a couple. At Bridgenorth in the first sort of 10 minutes held their own in this game, but they're down Sims, that's Tom Sims, the captain, who went off injured in the first contest this morning. We're going to have a break here on Duff TV. You'll see some highlights, and we'll be back for the second half action here in the NTFA Under-18 Grand Final. There, so Farquhar set shot from 25 metres out, directly in front of the goals. The umpire stands up. That indicates Bridgenorth have got one.
Great start there by the Parrots, but I am watching in the centre of the ground, Captain Tom Sims.
Given away, unfortunate by Jones. Chappell, not Chappie, sorry, I beg your pardon. There's that replay, very high hold there, so 65. The way that Bridgenorth are going to try and get a score is ball's just rolling around inside the pocket. Hands of Dunham, seen him play a little bit this year. He's got a bit of pace. Cowley's rush shot on goal. Oh. That's gone through. Well, I thought that was going to the left, and I reckon the Bridgenorth players did as well. And they haven't touched it. Went through for a goal.
Yeah.
He does have Cowley about to make a lead. There is the lead. He ignores it. There's another lead. That's good football. And that's just good footy. And
yeah,
Bailey Lowe, who can kick sausage rolls, has got it in the pocket.
It was a great lead there, but I'm looking here and I can see 3 Parrots big.
Nearly by Gill. Still on the ground. See, they're set up really well behind the stoppages here.
Yeah, they have been South, and the intent from both sides has been terrific, but South are just winning these critical contested footy.
A little bit stagnant at the forward line then. They've still got an option. And it's Cowley. He's taken another Parrot land. Now they charge forward again. It's going to be too easy at the back. Well, they actually spoiled each other. The ball feels free. That's a great tackle. And the kick off the ground, goal. Well, they respond with a low, sneaky one. He had a set shot a few minutes ago, and then he's managed to dribble that one off the ground.
Yeah, it was great ball movement by South out of the back half. Just unfortunately slipped out the back, that one.
So Bridgenorth trying to win one out of the middle. Woodcock Davis in there. Hasn't had a heap of touches. And here's some run. Shot on goal. It's a flying shot. They've got a couple.
Yeah, they're really opening it up now, South. And one thing with this big ground at UTAS here, if you're willing to...
Handball out towards Wicks. Tight on the boundary. Great defence. And I reckon that's been taken over by the smart play.
Yeah, another good tackle there by Joe.
Well set up in the back half here. That's going to be holding.
Yeah, great tackle by Harry Templer there. His second and third efforts have been fantastic. It looks like with Sims out of the game, Jaden Blackwell's been pushed forward. He's played a fair bit.
They do have numbers here. And G's with a driving ball. Farquhar at the back, but falling into Lyons' hands. Rushed in. Nearly taken there by Harris. And a slinging shot on goal. And finally, they broke the stalemate.
Great goal there by Josh Harris. He's a running machine.
Played a few seniors this year.
Yeah, he did, and he's an exceptional athlete. He's a great runner. And if
Dunniam, too slow, Dunny, but is he called holding the ball? No, I reckon it's a free kick for holding the player.
Yeah, it's just a bit of a... just didn't quite have the ball as he was being tackled there. I watched the replay. Yeah, young Sammy Beasley. But yeah, just the way South was set up behind the ball when Bridgenorth got it to the centre, there was no way forward for the Parrots. It was really, their positioning's fantastic.
So Dunniam, probably a better running shot on goal than a set shot. No problem there. They got their second.
Yeah, good finish there. Great finish. And as I just said a couple of minutes ago, we haven't got long to go in this quarter. But the way South had won plenty of footy, they were just threatening to score, and they obviously have. So with about a minute to go, it'll be an interesting last.
And welcome back. Second half action as the Dogs and the Parrots go about their means to get in position to set themselves up, and Aaron Robson, Bobby Beams in the commentary position. And as we mentioned, Tom Sims is just heading off in the ambulance at the moment. Bobby, you got an update on how he's going?
I don't think he's going great. So they're taking him away. There's a bit of talk, maybe spleen. So
Right.
we'll find out more as
Fingers crossed for him.
time goes on.
He did come off the ground. He walked off the ground, but he looked like he got a knock early. And at the moment, Bridgenorth are going to have to find a way, because here's a bit of unusual, well, not unusual that there's water, but quite a bit of water sitting on the ground. Corkery can't get it. On his knees is Cowley, and he gets shoved into the grass here at York Park, and he'll get a free kick. So the first opportunity, there was a little lead by Elmer. Now a longer one comes. So the umpire calls play on. High ball. Graham in there. Punched over the back. Some run on here by Elmer. He's going to get to it first, or the boundary line. It's the white line which keeps us in play out of bounds left pocket.
Yeah, and an early forward entry there from South through Will Cowley again, who has had a very good first half.
Dangerous spot for throwing. Just too easily thrown at the ball. Dean wins it. Elmer in there as well. He's been so dangerous for South Launceston. High ball out towards Lowe, who kicked a goal in that first quarter. A little quiet in the second. So what we saw in the second quarter, Bobby, was a pretty tight game for 10 minutes. Then South opened it up, but Bridgenorth have got to find a way to get a score. Farquhar needs to get involved and try and get some of his runners getting a little bit of the footy. Did you get an indication of what the coaches were talking about for Bridgenorth for half-time, Bob?
Yeah, just to really set about, just get their commitment to the ball, get their hands on the footy. That's the key. They need to get it and get some composure with it.
Yep.
Hit some targets and give themselves some looks forward.
Well, that was good. Woodcock Davis, who's probably I suppose the pedigree player running here, he just got disposed of the footy, and then they've won another free kick. So the intensity from Bridgenorth's been good, Bobby. Their tackling pressure's been great. Their effort at the footy. They're just one or two A-graders, and I think Tommy Sims' loss has hurt them a little bit around the football.
Yeah, for sure. And they've got some really good midfielders in this south side.
Templar's gone forward, I think up to half forward. The ball's loose. It's going to be one here by Corkery. He's got some pressure applied by Alexander. Corkery again. You will need to be clever. Just releases a handball in time. Alexander, he's got a player just further afield. He scoops it up to Graham. Graham gets the ball out, but thump, that's good. It's really contested football here on the centre. That's a free kick for legs being taken out, which is really interesting. A couple of years ago, that was paid all the time, but it's not paid that often these days.
No, there's been a different interpretation of the rule.
I think they have changed it slightly.
I think they have,
yeah. Spilt through Wicks's hands, and it'll go back for a free kick. Probably 400 or 500 people in here, expecting a crowd of about 4.5. We've got 3 more grand finals. Really looking forward to Lonnie and OLs. I reckon that's going to be tight. That's the Premier League girls game. That's a terrific mark by Chappell. He's had a couple of touches, Chappell. He's going to go high up towards the forward 50. Big fly as the boys charge up. Dean with a shovel. Gets it out towards Lowe. He's got one inboard Lowe, and he puts it very high into the stratosphere. Chappell just judged it better.
Yeah, good mark there by the captain, Chappell. He had a good kick in forward and then followed it up and just, used his body well, but he didn't have to. The Bridgenorth player didn't quite get to the drop zone of the ball.
No,
so
that was a missed opportunity, maybe just misread that. There's no breeze at all today, and the rain is gone for now.
No, he has been a goal kicker this year, Chappell. He kicked 3 in the second semi.
He's a very neat set shot, and as he say that, he's missed. Just a fraction amount of drizzle, and then we should be clear. But the only thing is, as I mentioned, there's no wind today, so it may just sit on us for a little longer than we expected. And it's very strange that there's water actually sitting on the surface here at York Park. Corkery on his chest, couldn't quite take it, and King takes it over the boundary line.
Yeah, I think once the weather does clear up later today, there's some more very good games of footy coming.
Who's the hairdresser down the river, mate? There's a couple. I think there's one at Exeter now. Has Corkery gone to that hairdresser recently?
A couple down there.
Is that a fresh salad he's got there?
Yeah, no, they run some interesting do's nowadays.
Hey, I'm pretty sure. Did you have a mullet back in school? I can't remember.
No,
I don't think you did.
No, I think
you missed it.
I think that was more you beauty point boys.
Yeah, okay. Well, I was a beauty point boy, and I had a very tight little mullet for up until grade 10, and I suddenly looked around and realised everyone else was cutting them off.
They're back now, though.
They are very much back. There is a lot of haircuts going around. I popped into a barber a couple of weeks ago, and he said he's cutting a lot of mullets at the moment with footy finals. Fresh airy from Templar. And that's going to be a free kick surely back to Mannix Jeeves. The umpire didn't call it. This is good from Bridgenorth. Got a couple of runners. Squires misses it. Jones now rushes it forward. Templar on a foot race. Couple of players in here. Betts misses it as well. Just running over the top of the football. Crisp. Good handball out. Nearly got it to Kidd. Woolcock Davis spinning and spinning in the cycle. That's a free kick. Great stuff.
Yeah, good tackle
by Mannix Jeeves. Jeeves been good today.
Yeah, his pressure's been fantastic. Probably a bit far out for him, and they'll need to get a few bigger bodies back there. Oh no, he's gone short.
He's gone short. It was the right option, but it was unfortunately juggled by Squires. He still has some time, and then he gets taken to the ground. It's a great tackle.
Yeah, just didn't get it on the second bite. Jade Squires there.
Wiggins has got it. Tries the footy with his jumper. It's going to be wet as soon as you kick it, mate. Anyway, it means it's a bit easier off the boot. Goes out wide. Ball's just been knocked down to the ground. Williams nutmegs himself. Pass Byard. Squires again. Williams with a tackle. Trying to bust his way through was Mannix Jeeves. And he didn't exit. In fact, that might be Jordan.
Yeah,
Daniel Jordan, I should say. They little similar head on them from a distance.
And the number's not much different.
Alexander taken. Williams lays a tackle. Ball just bobbling around in front of Simmons. Somehow they sneak a kick out. Woolcock Davis misses it. Now it's Mannix Jeeves. Pocket. Snap. What a goal. Mannix Jeeves. Can he lift the Parrots?
Yeah, that was a great goal by Mannix Jeeves there, but some work further up the field. Their contest work of that stoppage was really good, and the pick-up by Jed Squires in wet conditions to handball to Mannix Jeeves was why they were able to get the first one on the board.
Yeah, good description, Bobby. I reckon you're spot on. That pressure there in that little contest. Woolcock Davis misses and slips. This is a good finish.
Yeah, great handball. I think the work was from Jack Wood actually back at that stoppage as well.
That's as good a finish you're going to have in what is as bad as conditions we've seen on York Park and relating to rain. The water is literally sitting on the surface, although it does look like it's draining away in the last 15 or so minutes. It should be pristine. Class Farquhar bombs it up to one-on-one. Ball spills. Where are the runners? Mannix Jeeves again. Taps to himself. Can't get it back. Still an opportunity for Simmons. Now there's a sneaky one out the back. Nearly. McCormick. Gee, Bridgenorth are coming.
Yeah, they look threatening there. Good centre clearance by Farquhar out of the middle.
Helpful when he can kick at 50 metres, isn't it?
Yeah, and quick entries puts the defenders under pressure.
There's some one-on-ones at the moment that they're winning in the forward line. They just need to get a bit of luck because it's not easy. Templar high fly. Ball's just loose in the middle of the ground. Misses Chapman. South with some run now. They haven't been forward for a little while. They should be able to clean this up, Bridgenorth. Well, they did have a stack of players. You've got to be spot on with your handball. Chappell is tackled by Chapman. I reckon Chapman's laid 5 tackles today.
Yeah, he's pretty good, Joey Chapman. That was a good tackle. Now, which way will they clear it? This is going to be the key, the next kick.
No real attacking side of this ground at the moment. There often is in grounds this time of the year with breeze. It's spot on conditions for that, but the wet stuff's made it contested. Still a very good standard of football. Long time underneath it was Long. Gets it first, but that's holding the football. Brilliant. Gee, they've lifted Bridgenorth.
Yeah, good tackle there by Ryan Byard. Now, he's looking for a switch, which is the best option. Good.
Blackwell. Hasn't had a lot of it, Blackwell. He's got another player out here on the wing. Finally gets it out. They've got numbers around this contest. Quick kick by Barr. Betts was high up. taken without the football. I reckon that's a tough one.
It wasn't a lot of prior there. He probably was held on to a bit.
Yeah, I reckon it probably could have gone the other way. Not a terrible decision by the umpire, but a tough one. Cowley driving ball, looking for Harris. It misses him. First of the ball was Daniel Jordan. Starting to get a little bit more lively. Can play Jordan. The setup, well, it's a tough one to mark. A lot of high balls have gone inside forward line for both teams. Scooping onto it was Corkery. Gets it back to himself with energy. Swings out a handball. Didn't go to a teammate. Clay chipped it off. Strange one here. Umpire called a free kick. There's a Bridgenorth player down behind play. It looks like it's Chapman.
Coming back to Joe Chapman, must have been held onto his leg.
He looked like he was a bit sore. That's a good kick from Chapman.
That's good to go through the corridor. Looking to open it up.
Gill, long and wide. Another drop, chest mark by Mannix. Geez, he holds to the position. Williams down to the football first. Little toe poke by Joshy Beams. And good setup behind the play. That was clever by Eldershaw, who found a defender running into each other. Gill's down. Now there's a chase by Cowley. Steadies in front of goal. Does it for the Dogs.
Yeah, it's a great goal by Will Cowley. He's playing a terrific game. Celebrated that a lot, and why wouldn't you? That's a great goal. The spoil was good by the Parrots, but there were just two players collided. Meant that South had a spare free, and we watched the replay here. Yeah.
Sorry, it was Elmer, I should say. Sorry, kicked the goal, not Cowley.
Oh, sorry, Elmer.
No, I called that wrong as well live, so it's Elmer with the goal. They look a little similar when they run.
Yeah, and Elmer's played very well as well in this game. So, Bridgenorth did some real hard work in that 5 minutes of play, but it'll be interesting to see how they respond now.
Yeah, so only one goal for Bridgenorth after dominating for 3 or 4 minutes, and South with their class ball movement, those class mids, finishing it off with a goal. Betts down first. Goes a second time. Energy from him. Somehow manages to get a kick to it, then taken high. Gee, the umpire's been good today. I reckon they've really missed anything.
Yeah, that's good by Betts, and what your call was spot on. Energy, that's what he brings, and that's what he needs to bring to get Bridgenorth back into the game.
He's gone to the pocket. It's my favourite teammate. Ollie Woodcock-Davis is back there. So playing in the back half at the moment, just steadying things. He's a good communicator, Ollie. Betts is going to probably get onto this one again. It's just gone past Josh Harris. The ball just bobbling around. Betts somehow. Ricocheted ball. Nearly taken by Farquhar. Now a rush ball up towards half forward. That's a Woodcock-Davis mark.
Yeah, good mark in defence. He's taken plenty of them today.
Yeah, he's not necessarily always a natural defender, but he's looking good there at the moment. It's a good switch by the South Range Trust. Some dash now from Crisp. Done him in the pocket. Support from Gill. Knocks it over the boundary line.
Yeah, good work from Gill there. Just left his man to get that over the boundary line. He's done that very well this year and played some senior footy.
Has he?
Yeah.
I've liked his game. Has he played down back for the seniors?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
He looks a natural reader of the play.
And when he went and played seniors, he just played with the same flair, willing to leave his man.
Tell you what, that he's done well is he's got off his player, Chapman. That's nearly high. It should be a free kick. No, the umpire says he didn't quite see it, obscured by the players yet. There's some likely types. Obviously, Bridgenorth don't have a junior set up, but you need these boys to follow through, don't you? Make sure they come into your reserves and seniors, and it's pretty of a tough one, isn't it? Do you blood them for a bit? You kind of want them playing in the right space. It's really a free kick, high ball. So slippery conditions, not a deliberate ploy there. And a free kick as South player still down.
Just held on to him a bit long there.
It's a high ball. Wrestling is Gill. Chappell, no, he's going to leave that one full. Harris, snap by Harris. What's he done with it? He's kicked a sausage roll.
Yeah, that's goal of the day, that one. That is fantastic there by Josh Harris. His goal in the second quarter was a great finish, but that is something else.
He's had about 13, 14 touches, not a stack, all been quality.
Yeah, what he's done's been good. Just watch the replay here.
So there's Harris in the contest initially. Chappell slipped over. Look at this first to pick up, and then literally threw it on the boot in the pocket.
Yeah, no, that is class. He just did the body work to actually get get a bit of time and space to pick that footy up and then threw it on the boot. Yeah, great finish, that one.
Well, we're seeing some sensational skills. As I mentioned, this is a high standard of football. It's good signs for the NTFA and Northern Tassie that, yeah, South are in front and they're dominating, as Farquhar's dominating the middle, and he tries it forward again, but some good signs for footy in the north. So numbers have increased in the 18 space with Scotch and St Pat's joining the competition, and they'll grow as under 18 teams as they settle themselves and start to gather some players from their respective areas. It's a ball up here. You're a club of choice, aren't you, Bobby? I've got to say.
Yeah, no, there's yeah.
You're doing something right, mate.
Plenty of people do like to come down there, which has been good over the last few years.
Yeah, certainly. I hear good reports out of your club, girls and boys. Some of the people that have joined it, particularly from the TSL, have really enjoyed the atmosphere. Handball slung out to King. Chappell first to the football, misses him. Blackwell in defence, goes backwards to go forwards. Gill under pressure. The ball smothered as he kicked it, and now it stacks on a mill. Yeah, I mean, there's obviously a new ground, hopefully being built at Laguna. I think they've built the initial roads for the school there.
Yeah, they're working on that there now. So, yeah, that will be become a training base for us where we train. One of our teams trains off-site anyway because the numbers are so strong. So,
Mannix G's high up. He's been tremendous in this quarter, but just needs some support from a couple of his teammates. Nearly holding the footy on lines. Now it's rushed out. This ball sits. Should be picked up first by Wiggins. That's a good tackle. And Templar able to spill that one out. Betts has been energetic. Templar trying to get it to him. Corkery dishes it out. Quick snap on goal. There's a goalkeeper. An old-fashioned goalkeeper.
Yes, it was
on his knees.
A couple of good pickups there by Corkery and Jed Squires there that resulted in that shot at goal. But yeah, as you said, the goalkeeper back, they weren't going to get past him.
He looked like an underage kid at cricket, just trying to stop the ball with his whole body. It was effective. Farquhar can't get it. Trying to jump over the pack was McCormick. Now the ball's just loose, looking for Simmons. Corkery's been really good in this quarter. He's bringing it along at the moment, but he couldn't get past a much taller Dean. So there's steady things, but those two goals to South in the early stages of this third quarter has just hurt them on the scoreboard. Farquhar's right hand over the top. Cowley's ball off the ground. Corkery's knees and hands couldn't quite gather the football. Dean in best position, but Farquhar just gets the front. Now it's been spilled out the back. Good head up. It was the right option, but didn't quite get his teammate on the full. Had a bit of time, Byard, but then the pressure came. Cowley, class from him, gets out, one-on-one, Chappell. The race on. Blackwell, Chappell, Blackwell, Chappell, Blackwell. Don't call that deliberate. I reckon that was an accident.
Oh, he did. He did.
Hey, to be fair, the umpire would have seen it. That actually slipped out of his hands and accidentally hit his foot.
Yeah, but the work from Cowley, win a one-on-one contest there through the middle to get that forward entry was tremendous.
So probably fortunate free kick, but yeah, kind of say he did need to probably tap it, try and pick it up. Tight spot. Is there an option to hit up? Oh, that wasn't a bad option from Chappell in the end, and he's swung it for a behind.
Yeah, I think with that forward entry, they were always, with that ball coming over the back, it was always going to be either get it over the boundary or something, and it just didn't quite work out. But only a behind there, and that's not a bad kick out.
Mark taken by Gill, who's had a good quarter. So Bridgenorth are certainly one-on-one are doing a pretty decent job. Simmons off his chest. Some rough challenge here from Atkins. That's good. Templar's got a player at the top. Decides to go for goal. That bounces, that might be good if it goes out of bounds. It doesn't in front of Mannix G's. Missed opportunity for the Parrots. A long way behind now for Bridgenorth to force a way back in. And just ignore the clock, by the way, on Duff TV. It's got down to 19. It's not the Actually, no, that is right. Sorry. I thought that might have been wrong. There's a free kick here. Or in fact, it might be a throw-in. I've got distracted. No, it is a free.
It's a free kick.
There you go. Got to start my game here. The first grand final here in the NTFA.
Curtis McCormack, your left footer, so it'll be a tough pocket.
Is he going to kick a banana? He is kicking a banana. I don't reckon that enters the field of play. Out of bounds on the full. So they're a fair way behind Bridgenorth, but certainly they've tried everything. This is the strongest South team they've had all year. With those players have come up. There's probably one of their better players, Ollie Woodcock-Davis. He's going to try and find Dean. Farquhar gets in front. And 2 goals to South in that quarter really helped. A goal to Bridgenorth. A couple to Elmer, singles to Summers, Dunniam, Bailey Lowe and Joshy Harris. Wow, we might get a replay on that goal in the right pocket. It was stunning. Fingers up from Jerry. The pots and pants man, Farquhar and Mannix G's for Bridgenorth have got goals. We'll wait for that goal and comments from Bobby before we have a quick break.
Yeah, look, it wasn't too bad a quarter of footy. 2 goals to 1. The Parrots, they did lift a bit in the middle. Jordan, Corkery, Jack Wood there we just see, and Betts. And they were able to get a goal, but the South boys, just that bit of class. They won those in really important one-on-one contests, got some quick forward entries, and were able to kick a couple of goals. And obviously that one of Harris was just...
I reckon we're going to see it here in a second.
Yeah, fantastic.
Carter's Elmer, yeah, Jerry's just signalling to us. Have a look at this. If you're still on air, we're going to see the Josh Harris goal, but Elmer and Will Cowley in the middle. So this is the entrance here, the high ball in. We don't usually commentate the replay, but this is how good this goal. Track Josh Harris, number 32. Picks it up.
Bit of body work on the boot.
That's as good as I've seen. Seen him kick a few decent goals in 16 boys, but we'll have a break here on Duff TV. It's all here to be done for Bridgenorth, and they're still hanging on. They're certainly in the general play, as we'll see what they can do in this last quarter. South with a good lead here at 3/4 time. So last quarter action on Duff TV, NTFA under 18 grand final. South versus Bridgenorth, 8-5 to 2-6. And the last hurrah here for both these sides. They've done a good season. Both of them, South I think they just had the one loss all year, Bobby.
They
That was
did.
against your mob.
Yeah, it was down there. And between these sides and Georgetown, they were terrific. They finished second in the roster season, and they've got a younger side, Georgetown, so they'll be up and about next year. They were by far the pick of the teams.
So can the Dogs go through one of their best seasons, such a dominant junior and Colts team? But Bridgenorth have been more than competitive here. They just lacked maybe one or two A graders in the middle, as some of the best 16 boys have been able to come up and become eligible for this game as it gets over the boundary line. There's a bit of a push and shove here, Cowley, and there's Arnott as well. Not just the players with the good hair. This boundary umpire, I've seen him a few times this year. He's got some great hair. Farquhar misses it. And he's going to get a chance to be on camera again. We need numbers on the umpires, don't we? So we can maybe start calling them out.
Yeah, it's a pretty good do, that, isn't it?
Is that permed? I don't know.
I think it is.
I think that's a
Could
bit
be
of,
natural.
There's a bit of work gone into that. I've given up with my hair. It's gone a different colour than what it started when I was born. It's gone through 3 lots of colours, actually. Blonde, mousy brown. Now it's gone to a grey colour. Loose ball, half forward, done him first to it. Can he pick it up? He's got some pressure come from Blackwell, who's been really good in defence today. Blackwell gets it, and then he's done him a good old bump off the ball out of bounds. So OL's Lonnie, massive game of football. Can they do it again? OL's over Launceston, beat them once this year. Longford and South in the Scooby-Doos, and the seniors at 4. Rochalee haven't won a grand final since I think 2019. I think I'm right there. And Longford more than 3 decades.
No,
I've got that wrong.
Rochalee would be a little bit further back.
Yeah, you're right.
They beat Bracknell at Windsor Park probably 16 or 17.
Might be 16 actually.
Yeah,
it's not 19. I got that mixed up.
Yeah, Hillwood beat Bridgenorth that day.
They did. It's a loose ball. Let's see if they can get a score going here. Let's give a bit of a flutter in the hearts of Peter and Scotty down there, the coaches. They've done a great job at getting their group together. Betts with a late tackle on Lyons. Corkery with a snap. 2 Dogs in the goal square, and they spoil it.
Yeah,
Nice.
promising move forward there by Bridgenorth, but just a 2v1 in the goal square. It was going to be hard, especially when the one was the little fella Eddie Betts.
Yeah. He's been really good today.
Yeah, he won the association best and fairest in the 18s
last year he did. I remember seeing him in the prelim final. You guys lost at Deloraine last year, and I was having a chat to a couple of your reserves and senior players, and they say he's a beauty.
He played some senior footy this year too, and was very good in each game he played.
Well, he's won a free kick for a tackle. His first quarter was a little quiet, but his second half has been magnificent. It's his pressure acts. It's the energy around the ball, and a high one now. Woolcock Davis in front position. It's going to go behind him. That's a clever little tap out. Ball's still free. Dean was there. Misses Dean. Rush ball out by Wiggins. South with numbers around this contest and some dash. Up to half forward. Dunham gets first to it. Spills it. Gill comes in and lays another tackle. Off the ground. Summers. Loping behind him was Blackwell, who's surprisingly speedy considering the loping technique. It's effective. And a big shout out to the volunteers, such as yourself, Bobby, and others that have had a very long year. We've also, AFL TAS, have given you a new database to work with, Play HQ. Hopefully that's going to be ironed out. So it's been a big year for the volunteers, and how good was it the other day with the St Pat's releasing the Volunteer of the Year through AFL. And Hilux going up there for one of their statesmen. That's a throw up here.
Scotty Flynn, yeah. No, it was great. And, yeah, for volunteers. And it's just great that footy is back to where we knew it. I mean, we obviously had those compromised years with COVID, which we had to do. But to be able to open this ground up and have as many in here as we like.
Harris, sorry, mate. I thought he was going to kick another goal. Yeah, you're right. It feels normal again, doesn't it?
It does. It's getting there. And I think it's, by next year it will be,
And look, the the money coming out of the media rights deal, as well as potentially an AFL team for Tassie, is going to saturate more money into the community footy market. That's the guide here. So that's going to get some more support.
And look, things might look completely different next year too, which I think will only be best for Tassie footy moving forward. And hopefully that AFL announcement does get
Brownlow Medal Day. Or Brownlow Medal Day is when the clubs are all coming together.
Oh, are they? Yeah. So
I don't think it's been massively promoted, but it's not that secret. But that's what we're thinking.
It seems to be heading that way, from what you hear in the media. So
out over the back was Lyons. Got a loose ball. He's going to swing it back to Woodcock Davis. It's going to be tough for us to choose a best on here, Bobby.
Yeah, they've been very even, the South boys, definitely.
Farquhar thrown off it. You can hear the roar. There's a lot of dog supporters just down in the right pocket. Corkery, energetic again. High ball. And a comfortable mark taken. So Lyons releases it, gets it laterally. Misses Williams, goes to the middle. Finds Arnott sliding on his knees. Still a loose footy. Thrown out by Wiggins. It's still quite an unusual warm day. Slashed was Dean. It's only a free kick. That's going to be a free kick to Chappell. He's just taken high. And this will pretty much completely seal it up.
Yeah, just a bit careless there by Joe Chapman, but good movement forward, for the ball forward for South again there. And like you say, this would be the icing on the cake if...
Yeah, he went to jump, didn't he, to spoil it. I think he was frustrated. And he realised, no, I did it. Hands in the air. So Chappell, he's had a couple of shots on goal. His kicking boots haven't been on today. Generally slots a few through. It's a very good set shot. And I reckon he's got that in. He has.
Yeah.
Deserved goal for Chappell.
Yeah, great finish by the captain there to kick a goal. And, like you said, Aaron, she's going to be hard to get back. It'll be party time now for South.
Yeah, look, on a day when it's a bit greasy, the rain is now pretty much cleared up. And we've had what I think's been actually a fab game. As I mentioned, I've done the last 5 or 6 Colts game, which is under 19s in the SFL. And admittedly, they do have more TSL 18s in the STJFL down there. But roughly ratios 5 STJFL teams. But this is a much higher standard, and they're a year younger. So it's a good indication of the footy and some of these players that have... And I think what I like about this, Bobby, both Bridgenorth and South do promote the youngsters. They give them an opportunity to have a run in the seniors. And now we see the best 18s playing off in a grand final. High ball in. And it's going to trickle over the boundary line.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Aaron, there's in both sides here, there's been plenty of...
It's a free kick, a little bit of communication. It's just a little bit of fun and games. Templar's a bit of a tough lad. I wouldn't be taking him on. Farquhar in the ruck. He nearly got the ball out the back. Shovel handball was good. Corkery with a long ball forward, but he's only got dogs and a boundary line and a minor score.
Yes, the both clubs have both promoted many of these players have played senior footy this year, and it's a good reflection that they're all out here and putting on a pretty good spectacle today.
So ball loose, Elmer misses him. Farquhar, Corkery, those two names have been called a lot. Woodcock Davis, the general down back. Wide out to Cowley. Looks up, doesn't have a lot of options, Cowley, so he's tried to finesse it. Another great tackle, Maddox Jeeves.
Yeah, good tackle there by Simmons.
Sorry,
Bailey
Simmons, I should say.
He's got a 50, has he?
I don't. Yeah, was that a push? Corkery
really
comes over and tells Alexander, you made a mistake. It's actually it's Alexander, I think, was giving some advice to the umpire.
The umpire dissent rule. But,
yeah. So Simmons with a goal. And a nice little one for him. He's deserved that. He's been serviceable today, Simmons.
Yeah, no, he has been. And, when it's a big ground, getting a 50 metre to put you in the goal square is pretty handy to to get
Yeah,
one.
so there it is. So it was
later
a
in
free
the game.
kick, and I think he might have thought he was slung or didn't have opportunity, or the prior opportunity. Yeah, and you can just see there's some expletives, or at least a showing dissent, I think. They're not too bad in community footy. I think they're actually worse in the AFL, particularly early in the year. They were pinging free kicks everywhere.
Yeah, I think the rule got sorted out through the year. It was a bit, especially at the top level.
Yeah, and I think sometimes the umpires follow that. I always reckon community footy's a much easier umpire than an AFL game.
Yeah.
And the crowd are not on top of you as they could be. That's a loose ball out towards King. Tracking behind him is McCormick. That's a good handball back out to Simmons. Nice little bit of work here. That's a reasonable kick to Farquhar. Farquhar from 55 drives it long towards goal. What a goal by the ruckman.
Yeah, great goal there by Farks. A really good kick in there, inboard from Corey McCormack. He could have just blazed away where South had numbers back, but he looked into the corridor. He had Farquhar there, and a long bomb on the run. That's a great finish, that.
Well, we've seen two stunning goals. I should say, Joshy Harris in the pocket and Farquhar from 54.
Yeah,
and pressure as well, wasn't there, Bobby?
Yeah, he had a lot of people around. That's a really good finish, that.
Well, we know he can drive the ball out. He's done the lot. I reckon he's rucked for about 80% of the time too. Only for a small, short period did Harry Templar come in, but it's been pretty much Farquhar all day. And it's a shame we don't have an award for both teams, as they do for some comps. They give an award out for both teams. Even the losing team get a best player, as off the back is Cowley. He's just behind the ball at the moment. Blackwell missed him. Bashir taken, and then he goes back and shoves someone in the back, and on his knees was Blackwell, and then he tells Bashir, I didn't really like that.
They're up and about a bit, Parrots, after that goal, but it may be time might be running out. I believe,
so 4-7 to 9-6. It's a 29-point differential. Woolcock Davis has gone up towards the forward line. Smart move, get him near the footy. Knocked out to Wood under pressure as he comes through the middle. Chase here. Just another goal to make it mildly interesting for the Parrots. That's a missed kick. And what do they got forward? They do. Betts is forward by himself. He's going to have to try and crumb it as this ball comes to ground.
And in front.
How about that?
Jack Mannix-Jeeves.
Mannix-Jeeves. Now, he is just within range.
Yeah, I think he is.
And you know what, Bobby? The sun is, well, the sun's coming out, but it's much brighter at the moment.
Yeah, no, I think the rain's gone for the day. It's going to be a cracking afternoon and evening here in York Park.
It's a long day for Rick Fontaine. I can tell you, he's just to our right at the moment. Fark, that's going, gone!
To go.
Where there's hope, there is smouldering logs on the fire here for Bridgenorth. As Mannix-Jeeves gets a set shot, we'll see on the replay. This is as good as Marcus we've seen today.
And even though this comeback is probably a little bit late, it's very similar to what happened out at Longford in the second semi. Bridgenorth come home with a wet sail. And
is there something about the fitness, or is it a motivation thing? Or is it like the pressure's off? What do you think, Bobby?
Well, I don't know. I think it's just probably that momentum which it can happen in games, and Bridgenorth's got that one. And a couple of good goals as well.
But they've deserved to get a run on at some stage because they've been in the game. I've got no doubt South have got the better team on paper, but it's not about that. No. South have also probably just played the better game today as well.
They've cracked in all day today, both teams, but the Parrots, where in a grand final, if you get behind, it could be easy to drop the head, but they certainly haven't.
Full effort from Farquhar today. Cowley's been brilliant. Ball loose. Harris just got it out. Dean looked like a touch footy throw. Williams on his right boot. Bouncing ball. Just misses Bayard. Still an elusive footy at the moment. No one can really grab it. Jordan, who's been a little quiet today, and then trying to find a way through was Wood, and he didn't see the exit. And David Summers has laid an effective tackle. Bashir standing still. He's going to be in with a chance here. High ball up. Chappell, Bashir on the back. And he misses. It's touched off the boot. It's 9-6 to 5-7. 23 points. There's 6 minutes. And if we saw some AFL footy, and I know it's not completely the same, you can kick goals in red time. particularly in a final. And I'm liking the way Bridgenorth are running this game, but they need to score in the next minute.
Yeah, they just need to take the game on.
Because what that means, that'll mean Peter and Scotty will have to make some changes. Maybe Woolcock Davis goes back and settles the ship.
Just to shore him up back there.
Under pressure is Crisp. Mannix Jeeves tries to get the football, then he needs to go in and stop this one getting out. And he holds it up. Alexander on the bench. I imagine he'd probably want to get back on. He's had a decent game.
Yeah, no, he's been
Dean's there as well. So I reckon there's a little bit of an advantage here with Dean on the bench. Farquhar, the dominant player on the ground right now. Betts, I should say Corkery.
Betts.
Oh, no, it is. No, I beg your pudding. It is Betts. Now it's Corkery. I saw them both there. He tries it up to half forward. Can they find something? It's been pushed by McCormick. Still in. High ball. Williams in the goal square. And that's frustrating. That's going to go over the top. Betts, first to the footy. Handball's quick. And he's just threw his teammate into some pressure. Quick ball in. There's 3 South players. There's Woolcock Davis. So he did make the move.
Yeah, good call, Aaron. He dropped back in the hole there just to be the, just to shore him up there, take another defensive mark.
Well, they get this ball on the ground here, Bridgenorth. They've got the numbers around the back of this contest. Sliding on his Chapman. He gets on his bike and breaks the line. His left boot's not great. Cramp, there we go. This is what we saw in the 16s grand final. A lot of cramp. Not a great feeling when your body starts to just go on you.
No, just the extra distance they've got to run on this ground.
Yeah, Graham just holding up. So right fist was effective by Bayard. He's been good since half-time. King lays some pressure on him. Bashir misses it. Now gets the football, looks up, gets tackled, but still manages to get his boot on it. Chappell and Blackwell, great battle today. Done him off the ground or through the air. They're doing the same thing. The Parrots, and they've got a player goalkeeping. There's 3 dogs that need to be defeated here. And somehow McCormick beats 3. But Woodcock Davis, the general, takes a mark. Taking some time off the clock. There's 3 minutes left, and it's been a brave effort here from Bridgenorth, but they're going to run out of time. It's been a cracking last quarter. We've seen the game's got better, Bobby, as it's gone on, really.
Yeah, it has, and both sides have really had the thirst for the contest, and it's probably, as we've said through the call, it's been just that little bit of class of South. That's probably why there's a sort of 4 or 5 goal different, 4 goal different.
Yeah, and they've held it. They held a 3-goal lead at quarter time.
Yeah,
they extended that, and they've pretty much kept it between 3 and 6 for the game. But a comeback here by Bridgenorth. It's out to Gill, who's been a good loper off half back. He's got Betts short. Betts has got pressure from Wicks. He beats him. Now goes wider again. Good lateral movement to Simmons. Simmons has got a lack of options though, as he just goes high. There's dogs everywhere. The fall of the football. They come in and maybe try and lay a bit of pressure and cause a turnover. They're doing a good job. It's down on the ground, and now it's a fabulous kick off the ground. It's gone 40 metres to Elmer. A little quiet in this quarter, but he's had a fab game, Elmer. Kicked 2 goals. Lateral ball to Eldershaw. And now comes back to Wicks. They've covered all the options here, Bridgenorth. But with only a minute and a half left, the Dogs will be the champions. We probably expected this.
And back-to-back too for South, winning last year's under-18s.
And it runs over the boundary line. So the same 2 coaches as last year, so some continuity from the Launceston South Lonnie Football Club. That connection with the juniors, that elite program down there has done its job. Cowley sneaks out to Wicks. He's got some pressure. And it's going to be thrown in again. Here's Scotty Plummer. Nearly a smile on his face.
Yeah, and just a couple of blokes there in the south side that missed out last year with injury. Ryan Arnott, Biscuits.
The Biscuit.
Missed out with a knee injury. Had a really good comeback. And Jacob Singline, he broke his ankle last year, so able to get back in this year has been good.
There was some pace from Betts, but a
Woodcock Davis.
Woodcock Davis. Well,
Again.
we actually chose the BNF or the best player on the ground, but I nearly changed my mind. Woodcock Davis, the last 10 minutes has been fantastic.
He has. He's been.
But in saying that, no disrespect, I think Ollie's probably has the best pedigree of any player on the ground. He actually has played loose a little bit, so a lot of his marks have been uncontested. But
yeah,
he's
reads the ball really well,
brilliant.
doesn't he?
High ball in towards South's forward line. Last gasp, South are the champions. They take out the NTFA under-18 grand final, 9-7-61 to 5-7-37. And the South players storm onto the ground, and congratulations to them. They've got the first one here in 4 big grand finals for 2022. And thanks, Bobby, for coming in. And great comments, mate. You've been fantastic. But just your last thoughts on this game before we have the presentation and the Best Player Award.
Yeah, no, well, thank you, Aaron. It's been good to be up here. Great view to watch it. But look, firstly, with the Bridgenorth, they were very brave today. At times there, they were well and truly behind, and it could have really blown out. But they hung tough. They kicked some goals late, but credit to South. South would just had that class, had that running ability through the middle, and they won plenty of those really important one-on-one contests, and then they were able to have enough inside 50s, enough forward entries to give them plenty of scoring opportunities. And been a solid year for them. Only lost the one game, and back-to-back for them. So, and as we both said during the call, they're under 16s, the program they've got up there, it's a credit to them, and that's why they've got the silverware once again.
We might just mention a few of the better players as we see the presentation gets set up, and someone slowly pushing the I'm not sure what's that called, the little seats and the promenade out there. But just to mention a few of the better players, Jakey Elmer was fantastic. Will Cowley throughout the middle, got a lot of the ball. Ollie Woodcock Davis spent a lot of his time in the back half, went forward for a little bit, but was really composed. Cameron Wicks played well. Nelson Clay had a great first half, and Bailey Lowe looked dangerous in that early part when they were on top. And Josh Harris's combination of a couple of goals and some classy work from him was really great. I thought Ryan Gill was great off back. Chapman was fab all day. He just worked hard, laid a lot of really great tackles. Mannix G's was one of the best for Bridgenorth. Also bobbed up and kicked a couple of goals. Dylan Farquhar was their best in the middle. Really rucked for 95% of the day and kicked an amazing goal in that last quarter from 55. And Joe Chapman laid a bunch of tackles in the back half. But the end score, 9-7. 61 to 5-7-37. It was not comprehensive as Bridgenorth came back. We hope you enjoyed it here on Duff TV. I've been Aaron Roberts. We had Bobby Beams, and we've got the girls' grand final coming up, the reserves and the seniors at 4. We hope you enjoy it here on Duff TV.
Okay, thanks very much, everyone. Firstly, I'd like to invite one of the representatives from our officiating umpires today to come forward and collect the medals on behalf of the rest of your crew. Job well done, well umpired, and Damien Ryan from the NTFA will now present the medals. Well done. Congratulations to our umpires. Well done on getting the grand final today as well. Big day for you guys. I'd now like to invite Bridgenorth coach Jack DeWitt, please, to come forward to just say a few words.
Firstly, congratulations, South. It's been a good year, good contest between us in our 4 games we had. To our boys, a lot of you moving on to senior footy and Resi's footy next year. Hopefully you can use this as a bit of motivation and drive to go one further next year. I'm proud, my first year coaching of you boys, and you've been a good group. I'm really excited to be playing footy with a lot of you next year. To the umpires, NTFA and that, thank you for today. Without you guys, it doesn't work. Our trainers, officials, all the guys that have supported me this year, and Phil, Robert in the twos. Thank you, boys. I appreciate it. And yeah, once again, congratulations, boys. Soak it up.
Well done, Jack. Very well said. And congratulations to your team. Shows a lot of character to play a last quarter like you did. Well done on the season. It's a great pleasure now to welcome David Marshall, a legend of football in the NTFA, and the best on ground medal is named in his honour, the David Marshall Medal, and the winner of that for South Launceston, number 3, Jake Elmer. Congratulations, Jake. Now time to present our premiership medallions, and Damien Ryan from the NTFA will present those. So as I call your number, if you can please come forward to accept your premiership medallion. I might just step out of the way so you can get up here safely. Firstly, number 2, Ryan Arnott. Number 3, we'll get him up again, Jake Elmer. Number 6, David Summers. Number 7, Will Cowley. Number 8, Abdul Bashir. Number 9, Ollie Woodcock-Davis. Number 10, Ollie Alexander. Number 11, Jaden Eldershaw. Number 12, Godsway Williams. Number 13, Harrison King. Number 15, Riley Dunyam. Number 16, Alexander Lyons. Number 17, Cameron Wicks. Number 18, Tom Graham. Number 20, Connor Wiggins. Number 22, Ethan Crisp. (24), Rowan Crawford. Number 25, Jacob Singline. Number 26, Oliver Dean. (27) Nelson Clay. (29) Bailey Lowe. Number 31, Colby Long. (32) Joshua Harris. Now let's hear it for the captain, number 5, Caleb Chappell. And the coach, Peter Cherkovich. We'll might get Pete to have a little bit of a chat.
First off to the NTFA for the great day, thank you very much. The umpires for the game, thank you. Jack and the boys, mate, you give us a fight every time we play. You don't give up, and there's a lot of good kids in that side there. Keep playing the good football you're playing, boys, okay? To our supporters over there, my wife, thank you. Boys, to you boys, mate, you started here in November, train in November. This is reward for what we've got to do, okay? To Plum, thank you. Johnny Harris is out there. John, another supporter of ours. John, thank you. It's just, thank you, boys. Enjoy the night, okay? Let's enjoy it.
Thanks very much, Peter. I'd now like to invite Lisa Patterson to come forward to accept the Premiership flag from NTFA President Scott Rigby. And last but not least, the Premiership Cup, and it's a great pleasure to introduce our South Launceston legend, Drew Alexander. Pleased to come forward to the stage. We'll ask Caleb Chappell to come forward as well to accept the 2022 NTFA Under-18 Premiership Cup to the South Launceston Football Club.
Yeah, was that a push? Corkery comes over and tells Alexander, you made a mistake. It's actually it's Alexander, I think, was giving some advice to the umpire.
The umpire dissent rule. But,
yeah. So Simmons with a goal. Not on top of you as they could be. That's a loose ball out towards King. Tracking behind him is McCormick. That's a good handball. Back out to Simmons. Nice little bit of work here. That's a reasonable kick to Farquhar. Farquhar from 55, drives it long towards goal. What a goal by the ruckman.
Yeah, great goal there by Farks. A really good kick in there, inboard from Corey McCormack. He could have just blazed away where South had numbers back, but he looked into the corridor. He had
chase here. Just another goal to make it mildly interesting for the Parrots. That's a missed kick. And what have they got forward? They do. Betts is forward by himself. He's going to have to try and crumb it as this ball comes to ground.
in front.
How about that?
Jack Mannix-Jeeves.
Mannix-Jeeves. Now, he is just within range.
Yeah, I think he is.
And you know what, Bobby? The sun is, well, the sun's coming out, but it's much brighter at the moment.
Yeah, no, I think the rain's gone for the day. It's going to be a cracking afternoon and evening here in York Park.
It's a long day for Rick Fontaine, I can tell you. He's just to our right at the moment. Far, that's going, gone!
To go.
Where there's hope, there is smouldering logs on the fire here. Played loose a little bit, so a lot of his marks have been uncontested. But
yeah, he reads the ball really well, doesn't he?
High ball in towards South's forward line. Last gasp, South are the champions. They take out the NTFA under-18 grand final, 9-7-61 to 5-7-37. And the South players storm onto the ground, and congratulations to them. They've got the first one here in 4 big grand finals for 2022. And thanks, Bobby, for coming in. And great comments, mate. You've been fantastic. We just do your last thoughts on this game before we have the presentation and the Best Player Award.
Yeah, no, well, thank you, Aaron. It's been good to be up here. Great view to watch it. But look, firstly, with the Bridgenorth, they were very brave today. They at times there they were, well and truly behind, and it could have really blown out. But they hung tough. They kicked some goals late. But credit to South. South would just had that class, had that running ability through the middle, and they won plenty of those really important one-on-one contests. And then they were able to have enough inside 50s, enough forward entries to give them plenty of scoring opportunities. And been a solid year for them. Only lost the one game, and back-to-back for them. So, and as we both said during the call, they're under 16s, the program they've got up there, it's a credit to them, and that's why they've got the silverware once again.
We might just mention a few of the better players as we see the presentation gets set up, and someone slowly pushing the I'm not sure what's that called, the little seats and the promenade out there. But just to mention a few of the better players, Jakey Elmer was fantastic. Will Cowley throughout the middle, got a lot of the ball. Wilcock Davis spent a lot of his time in the back half, went forward for a little bit, but was really composed. Cameron Wicks played well. Nelson Clay had a great first half, and Bailey Lowe